Hello and welcome back to another episode of the Horny Football Podcast. Let's take a quick look at what's coming up this week on episode 5. We're going to be taking a look back at all the Premier League Gameweek 6 action, including Newcastle United's historic 8-0 victory away to Sheffield United, all the drama from the North London derby as Arsenal are held at home to Spurs. We take a look at Liverpool's continued resurgence in the Premier League, as well as all the other talking points from this week's Premier League action, so strap yourselves in, it's going to be a good one. Hello and welcome back to another episode of the Horny Football Podcast. So we're going to start with the North London derby, Arsenal being held at home to Spurs, in a game that on paper looked pretty even, but looking at it, I think Arsenal were pretty wasteful in attack. We got the penalty, went ahead, 2-1 ahead, and then straight away gifted Spurs another goal. On the basis of play, I think Arsenal were very unlucky, but in saying that, now Spurs did create quite a few chances. I wouldn't say not as many clear-cut chances as Arsenal did. But looking on Arsenal Twitter now, especially, it's all kind of been doom and gloom after the result, just being like, our home form, especially this season, hasn't been fantastic. Away from home, we're doing pretty well. But just whatever it is about our home form, we're just not able to reach the same level we did last season. I know we're only a couple of games in. We only played, I think, 4 home games this season. But we've seen Arsenal have this philosophy, I would say, of trying to walk the ball into the net. Is that kind of becoming too predictable and too easy to defend against?
Yes and no. I think when you get it right, it's fairly impossible to defend against. The only problem with moments in time like that is that they are hard to get right or perfect all the time. They probably are trying a bit too hard. I think the emotional side of, let's say, not Pep Guardiola, but Arteta is clearly, like, he's an emotional guy in the sidelines. That clearly, you see it falls onto the pitch as well. Look, as you say, I think Arsenal got unlucky with a few things. I think Spurs did too. I personally, it's easy for me to say as a United supporter, I don't think either team, had a right to win that game, but I certainly don't think either deserved to lose. I think that Gabriel Jesus had an amazing opportunity early in the game when he snuck it away from Madison. He absolutely ballooned it over the bar. No top class striker is missing that opportunity.
Yeah.
Alternatively as well with Johnson, when he, like, in a way, that shot that Son pulled back, and I don't know if he scuffed it as such, but he didn't connect with it perfectly. Ray did a beautiful kind of dive to take it off the line. The same thing falls. No top class striker is missing that opportunity. The handball, I look on the basis that United didn't get the same thing against Spurs. I'm a bit begrudging, but I think it's a penalty. I think Romero was unlucky with the own goal too, because all he needs is that call behind him.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And that didn't come. Like, he's a hardcore defender. He puts his body wherever the ball is going to go. He's going to stick out a limb. So that was kind of inevitable. But look, both teams were good. They weren't great. They had moments of brilliance, but I don't think either team deserved to lose that. I think the one thing I will say is this is the third or fourth year for Arteta. You need to see that a little bit more. They do. We touched on it last week. They need a striker. They need that clinical, scary number 9 up front. And Spurs are, they're at the beginning of the journey of Ange Postecoglou, so it looks good. They just, whether they can keep that momentum up is now to be seen. So look, it was a great game though. I loved watching it. And I would never watch an Arsenal game or a Spurs game a full, but I enjoyed that game a lot.
Rob, touching on Romero's handball there, they were saying like, oh, it's not a natural position. Like, where do you think they draw the line for natural? What's natural? What's not natural? Like, we'll touch on it a little bit. Like the penalty Luton Town got, hit the Wolves defender's leg and then strikes his hand, his hand was like up here, and the ball hits his hand, and it was given as a penalty. Like, I just don't think this whole ruling of natural and unnatural position, I think it's bullshit.
I think the only way they can fix it is if they get, like tape and stuff, and tape their arms like this and keep it in there at all times, because you can't, especially when the ball is deflected. You're like, look at Garnacho's shot against Tottenham. I know that was weeks ago, but like, how is that not given as a handball? But yet a deflected shot, then going up and onto his hand is a handball. Happened to us last year with Martinez against Sociedad. He slid to block the ball, hit his leg, and then hit his arm. How is that a penalty, like, when it's deflected like that, But then, like Romero a few weeks against Garnacho, his arm is clearly out. The ball is on target. That's a penalty, but we didn't get it. But then there's other penalties being given for, ball being deflected and rebounded back up. It's kind of one thing if it's in that direction, but not when it's coming, shin level and then bouncing up your hand, which is up at your shoulder. Like, I don't, I don't understand how it's handball, but every week is different. Everyone's talking the same shit. Spurs are Spurs. They'll run out of steam yet. They don't have a brilliant squad. I wouldn't worry too much about them. Arsenal lacking, like, they've been unlucky with injuries so far this season. Not many, but crucial ones. But they still need that clinical number 9, like, which is fair because of how they play. They played the same way last season with the same team. You can only do it so much, like. Defensively leaking goals, which isn't great, but they've lost a couple of defenders already. Timber's a big loss. And Rice possibly being out will be a big loss, especially without Partey being there. Havertz is dog shit. We know that.
Yeah, we know that. Yeah,
but that's really it. Yeah.
Touching on, like, a lot of teams, I think not a lot of teams, but a lot of pundits are kind of, I think, already not writing off Arsenal, but being like, they're kind of looking elsewhere. They're putting maybe all the eggs into the Liverpool basket in terms of challenging City. But I think it's just Arsenal are 1 point worse off at this stage after 6 games than they were last season. So, not a huge drop off.
But the thing is, who have Liverpool fucking played? And yet they're losing and coming back into games. Like, they've played nobody, like.
I mean, they were in Newcastle, but you can argue that Newcastle were just absolute dog shit on the day.
Yeah, but they ballooned it. That was an Eddie Howe fuck up, like.
That was Newcastle were dog shit for the first 5 weeks, like. Apart from their big win against Villa, they were shit since then. And it was only since their draw with AC Milan last week that they've actually become good again, like. So
well, there you go. Yeah, the confidence is up in Newcastle. Spurs, Maddison and Son are doing incredibly well this season. They have, I think it's 7 goals between them, 4 assists between them. They're just doing phenomenal. Like, I know we said kind of after the first game week, would have loved to have seen Maddison and Kane linking up with that front three with Son on the left, but Heung-min Son playing in that striker position, I mean, it's working out.
Yeah, I think look, this isn't it's not the first time he plays there. He plays there for Korea. Maddison, I touch on it all the time. Look, he's a proper Spurs player. He's a proper Ange Postecoglou player. It kind of goes to show you that in that Leicester team, getting double digits in assists and goals, like, he was a good player in a shite team, but due to the fact he was in a shite team, we all perceived him to be kind of, dog shit as well at times.
Yeah.
He's in a better team now, a better structured team. They're no world beaters themselves, but they're doing well, so he's thriving. Yes, I think it would have been interesting to see him play alongside Kane, but then again, would he have the same impact now that if Kane was still there? Now that Kane's gone, Son will always be there, but Maddison has kind of taken over that kind of, well, obviously the number 10 jersey, but that kind of, I don't know what's kind of the vitriol, the praise, the pressure, all that, and he's taken it in his stride. Look, they're at this moment, Spurs are in a moment in time. Son and Maddison are getting on fine, but until they keep doing it for the next 5, 6, 7 games, this is just a moment in time. Spurs are like any team. All they do is one fuck up now and they could fucking disappear. But this is where we'll see where Ange Postecoglou comes in as well. His character, his management style. But no, the two boys are doing well. Every one of us has always liked Son. We know his qualities, so there's no surprise there. But look, they're going good. They just need to keep that momentum going now. And they need to both stay injury free. That's a key thing for them too now.
All right, so next up, we're going to go to Bramall Lane, where Sheffield United were beaten 8-0 at home to Newcastle. Pretty historic day for Newcastle. 8 different scores in a single game for the first time in Premier League history. And it's their biggest away win in the Premier League. Where do Sheffield United go from here? Like, how do they pick themselves up, Rob, from this? Like, it's one thing if you're away from home, you get a big loss. That's okay, you kind of brush it off. But being at home, conceding 8 goals, like, what's next?
For them, nothing. It's straight relegation. They're going straight back down. They can go down with Luton, and Chelsea can fuck off too. Hopefully we can relegate 4 teams this year.
Yeah, it'd be
I
amazing.
do. I think all three promoted teams are going to go down. Burnley haven't picked up where people are expecting to. I thought Burnley were actually going to do pretty well. Definitely top half finish, but they can go straight back down. Like, fuck them. Sheffield, though, they don't have a good squad. Like they have a championship squad. Like they've
I know
nothing.
we touched on that. I think Adam said it 2 weeks ago. That they have a championship team. They haven't bought
not
in
good,
anyone of talent at all. Same team from probably a couple of years ago.
Yeah, and with that being a promoted team, you need to have some sort of home form or at least a strong defense at home. Put 5 at the back and just defend like there's nothing else, and hopefully nick a couple of goals. Similar Luton. Luton are probably playing better than they're getting unlucky with their results more than anything. Whereas Sheffield are just terrible. Like again, once to do obviously they haven't sacked a manager yet, but once to do probably earlier the better. But to get it done in November time, that they can give them a good Christmas run, which will be 6 Premier League games, 7 Premier League games. You can make 10 points out of that or 14 points out of that and get somewhere. But yeah, they're bad. And there's a lot of good teams in the league this year as well, I find. Not good, but better than most.
Kind of around there's a lot of teams around that kind of bracket.
Yeah, like Everton, I think Everton, had you said it 3 or 4 weeks ago, they're definitely going to go down. I think now that winning away to Brentford is huge for them and they can start picking up points. I'm banking on Calvert-Lewin now for my fantasy team this weekend. Just for everyone there watching, I'm on top of the fantasy team because Dan never introduced me like that, but it is what it is. So Calvert-Lewin's going to come in because it's a home to Luton Town. They're going to bag 3 points.
Yeah,
that's it. That's my fact.
Newcastle. We'll move on from Sheffield. Newcastle. They'll be on a high. Obviously, they went to the San Siro. They got battered, but they still came out with a draw. A good solid point the first time in the Champions League in 20 plus years. Then we've seen them put 8 past Sheffield, and then last night in the Carabao Cup, they bet Man City. Are they on a roll now? Like they have West Ham coming up, Fulham, Man United, Arsenal, Wolves in the next 5. Obviously, with Champions League games mixed in there. Like, is this their chance to kind of get a good run going, get their confidence back up?
Oh yeah, definitely. Yeah, I think I think what they needed to sort out more than anything was their defense. Because we all know last year, apart from their bullshit time wasting every 2 minutes, their defense was fairly solid. So they needed to get that structurally in place again. Obviously, in terms of confidence, yes, like 8 goals from 8 different goal scorers, that can't not give you confidence. I have to make note of that young Anthony Gordon. He's like he's brilliant. Like and I'm like I never saw this player at Everton. So and I don't think many people did. So whatever Eddie Howe's saying, you got to give credit to him for going out and getting him last January. I know obviously it was a war zone in Everton for him, but he's been playing brilliantly. Like he exhausted himself after the AC Milan game. Eddie Howe said he needed a rest, but he had to come on after 12 minutes. And when he came on, he completely tore that game apart. He did well. I don't know if he did well or got lucky with the assist when it just when it was just about going out for a goal kick. Also, that thing bounces up and hits his hand, so it goes to differ. One of the controversy we had earlier on about penalties where the ball hits the player and hits his hand. Does the same rule apply for the attacker? I don't know, but here we are. But look, they've done well. Yeah, look, it's good that they got like their defense and too like Dan Burn and Bachmann getting on the score sheet as well. That'll do them the world of good. I want to take note as well. I didn't notice until I looked back at the replays of that game there earlier on. That young guy, I'm just going to look up his name. Yeah, Jack Robinson. For the goal that Dan Burn scored, if Dan Burn didn't score that, he would be very lucky to be on the pitch for their team because he was pulling and dragging out from the moment the corner came in, like it was like it's a red card because Dan Burn went down for a penalty, he's getting sent off. There's no two ways about it. He had a grab of his jersey and didn't let go. It was crazy, but look, Newcastle, they're at the moment they're not in a rich vein of form, even though they're just off the back of a nil win, but this most certainly will do them the confidence. And like Newcastle are liable to get 1 or 2 games with a high score sheet. They did it last season. So it's not really anything new. Sheffield United, look, I feel for Paul Higginbottom, but as Rob said there, they're as much as a championship team as he is a championship manager.
Yeah.
So
like there's not really anything to suggest otherwise, not to be fair.
now it's just a matter of who's going to finish bottom now at this stage. We all had our money on Luton, but as Rob said there, they've gotten unlucky. I would say Luton are definitely going down, but maybe they won't go. Maybe they won't go be bottom. Sheffield United are looking fairly good for that spot.
Yeah, I think they could definitely scrap it out with Chelsea for second last place.
I think so.
Just touching back on
just going
Newcastle.
for Chelsea.
I don't know why I wore blue. Just touching back on Newcastle for a second. A big thing for them is keeping Wilson and Isak fit and learning how to balance between them. Playing with the two of them doesn't work for them. They play nice and wide. So keeping them fit and rotating is nice. Also, you're completely forgetting Trippier hat-trick of assists, which is unreal because he didn't have a great start to the season either.
He didn't have a great start.
But Newcastle didn't either. But like that's unreal to get 3 assists.
Three assists,
one after the other, like all nice assists. But Newcastle, like how many headers did they score the other night? They're such a big, tall team, anyways.
Yeah.
With Trippier's good crossing and their aerial kind of menacing, like Beans is for clubs. You know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
It's like you're going to get results out of it. You know, it's good. Just like Mount now for us. Hopefully, it'll be good at set pieces, like for Casemiro's goal the other night as well. You know, once you have someone to actually put the ball in, you need someone to head it in. And Newcastle have tons of players for that. Like their whole back four could be in for a goal assist for every corner. Yeah. Between Dan Byrne, if he's starting, and their 2 centre backs, and Trippier actually taking it. Huge, like.
And just quickly on to John Callum Wilson, 15 goals in his last 18 games in the Premier League. At Bournemouth, I thought he was rubbish. I didn't see why Newcastle went and bought him, but I think under Eddie Howe he's just been fantastic. I think he just suits that Newcastle style.
Eddie Howe had him at Bournemouth, didn't he? And he brought him to.
There you go. He brought him in.
Yeah.
So I think it's a matter of the team around you. Eddie Howe obviously knew he was a great player, a great striker. So, you know, when you're a good player and you've better players around you, you're going to perform better. It's as simple as that. That's just life. So
I did want a Man United back then. But like every striker looks decent, I kind of want United. I'm pretty sure, did Chelsea actually put in a bid for him that time for 50 million, or was it just heavy talks of them doing it?
I think there was talks, and I don't think it was 50. I think it was only like 32.
40. I remember 45 to 50, but
could have been. I don't
remember. The English tax, Oisin. Come on.
All right, so next up we're going to be going to Turf Moor, where Man United ran out 1-0 winners. Good result for Man United. I didn't really see the game now because I was watching Ireland beat South Africa, but good result for United. It kind of got their confidence back a little bit. I don't think the performance was overly fantastic, but the 3 points is all that was important.
It was a dogged performance more than anything else. Burnley were resilient in some aspects. Onana did quite well. He made a few great saves. Yes, like look, I watched the game. I watched the Ireland game as well, but I watched the United game on Sunday evening, and yeah, look, it was nothing special. The performance wasn't special, but there was definitely glimpses of why they can do well. Hannibal did quite well. Casemiro was pretty solid too, but that game to me was the last game where, looking at that game, I was like, we definitely need Amrabat. He definitely needs legs around him. And then we saw that against Crystal Palace there on Tuesday night. So, because he's a great player. He just needs that someone around him. So I think it was a good starting point. They needed to get back on winning ways. They needed to do it away as well.
Yeah, their away form has been pretty shit lately.
Regardless of who it is, they needed an away win to start things off. They got 5 out of the next 6 games at home, so like it can only go from there. They just beat Crystal Palace. They have them again on Saturday. The only word I can describe it is dogged. I have to say, Johnny Evans. Like, I'm sorry, I'm not familiar with your Graham. He's been playing brilliant the last few games. Brilliant assist off his left peg to Fernandes for the volley. And what a finish! You know what I mean? It was a beautiful finish. You cannot.
I think keeper should have done better. I think keeper should do better. I think he should save that.
Yes and no. I think keeper possibly could do better, but any volleys you see like that, they're hard to save. Like, because you don't
get me wrong, it was good technique, coming across his body.
Yeah, the way
it was a good finish. Don't get me wrong, but I think a good keeper saves that.
Not Ramsey, definitely not home. The way he opens up his body though when it's coming, I don't know about that. The way Bruno opens up his body before his class, like, he just runs normally. Then when he's about 4 yards away from where he wants to be, he just slowly turns his body around. It's brilliant. Brilliant assist from Evans. But that game was just a must-win game. Like even against Bayern, you're thinking, right, you can afford to lose against Bayern. You don't want to lose, but it's first game of Champions League. It's probably the best time to have them away because now you have a run of 4 fixtures that you should win. So it's good to get out of the way. Yeah, we had a terrible run of form, but this was just a must-win game before we get players back and start playing our way of, our game. Like,
and it's important.
Amrabat will be important to bring in. To have with Casemiro.
Yeah.
Once we get our defence sorted, Reguilon has been playing very well for us. Yeah. He's been a surprise, absolute diamond in the rough there. Bruno on the goals, but we need Rashford to start fucking getting his finger out.
Banging him in,
doing nothing. Yeah. He's doing nothing. But as I said, I was saying it all fucking last year as well. He only had a really good run after Christmas, and then it dried up before summertime. He had a really good run where he's banging the main fucking left, right, and centre. He was okay before Christmas, but he just went on a streak.
He's
very lazy.
He's gotten very selfish.
Very lazy.
Yeah,
he's selfish and lazy and lazy. Well, he has gotten very selfish. There has been a couple of opportunities. I think it was I think it was 30 seconds in. He was running at the defender, and I think it was Højlund in the middle.
Yeah,
it would have been a difficult ball to get to him, but he didn't even try. He kind of just tried to take on the defender on the outside with space running out, and then he just fucking kicked it like it was a mile wide anyways. But it just seems like he's getting a lot of those in that position quite a lot. And Oisin, like you said last week, he's trying to shoot. Like he's not trying to cross it. He's trying to, until he is out of options, then he'll try cross it. But his first thought is try get a shot on target.
But don't get me wrong, when Rashford is greedy and in form, he's lethal. When you see him actually running defenders, but I hate when he just fucking stops and he waits and he lets the opportunity go altogether and then he tries something. And he won't even track back. If he loses the ball and the player is still within 6-7 yards, he will not move to defend it. He won't go anywhere. He'll just fucking flail his arms, which is very annoying. Højlund looks like he could be a brilliant player for us if we can get it moving around. Pellistri looks like a fucking gem on the right as well. Like he's no one there to take his space at the moment. My only problem is that Bruno will probably start on the right on Saturday and Mount will start at 10. But I don't know. Hopefully I'm wrong. But then again, it'd be nice to get Mount into some sort of form now that he's after breaking the 007 fucking streak before he got to 7.
I think
he missed a couple of games. So
he missed. Yeah,
but he still racked up a few before it though. And now if we have him on crosses, and that's a fucking win because Bruno's crosses have been terrible. Shaw was good at corners, but he's fucking out for how long now? Delot played very well against Palace, but again it was a weakened Palace team. Exactly what we needed though. All of a sudden, after 4 losses in a row, we've got 2 wins in a row, and we play Palace at home. So,
like you said, you have you keep Palace at home coming up this weekend, Brentford at home, Sheffield United away, Man City at home, then Fulham away. But I think they're, the form United team, there could be another 4 wins at least. I think they should be targeting another 4 wins.
There's a home game against Galatasaray as well in the Champions League.
Oh yeah, Champions League.
Yeah, between that and then we're before the Man City game, we're also home. Against Copenhagen too, so they're more home games to have, the more opportunity against weaker opposition to build that confidence ahead of the City game.
How we play,
in saying that though, you're saying about home games at home to opposition that you should be winning, but if you don't win the games, then are the fans on the back and then the confidence is completely gone? That's the danger of it, right? So you kind of need, they're easier games, yes, but you need to win. Like you need to, whatever about performance, you just need to get the points on the board, start making moves, getting the confidence up, and then going.
And that's a given, though. That's a given. That's true. And look, if they do, but the other thing is so much media spin too. Even if they drew one of those games, there's going to be such a fucking hoo-ha about it. But look, the main thing to look out at this moment in time, and if they lose further down the line, then a conversation can be had. But for right now, there's an opportunity here to gain some serious momentum coming into the harder games. On paper, they are easier games. I still don't think Palace, like even a full-strength Palace team, whatever it's going to be on Saturday, I don't think they beat us. We have Amrabat back, Mount is back, Varane is back. Our players are coming back. Reguilon missed that game; he'll be back. So I have confidence we'll get a result in that game. But yeah, look, at the moment, we just need to build that momentum. We need to take as much time. Be careful in our play as well, not to get injuries anymore. We need to get the players back from injury. As I said last week, we judged United over the last few weeks on 12 injuries when they had 4 games. Let's judge them when they have a near to fully fit squad. Then make the judgments. You know what I mean? Whatever about form and style of play and Ten Hag saying we have to get used to each other and all this. When we have, you're not going to have Shaw back until Christmas, but when we have the vast majority of our squad back fully fit, that's when you judge them. You cannot judge them on like, well, it's hard to judge them on a team that was so injury infected. There's players coming back now. The excuses will start to diminish now because now you'll have no excuses. You know,
Yeah,
this is where this is
I
where
think a
they'll be
big thing
judged.
now is like if you get 2, even 3-0 win against Palace with a good performance, like a clean sheet is huge as well.
Yeah, it
Keep
is.
that
Yeah.
momentum going as well. All of a sudden, 3 clean sheets in a row is decent. I know against not great opposition, but it still is 3 clean sheets in a row. Like, so it'd be huge.
All right, so next up we're gonna go Man City 2, Nottingham Forest 0. Man City perhaps not at their best, but obviously still finding a way to score. It kind of helps when you do have a player like Erling Haaland who can score 40, 50 goals a season. But for the first 15 minutes, Man City looked incredible. They were just so quick, so sharp, but then they kind of just took the foot off the gas a little bit, and then, you know, Forest defended pretty well, got to half-time 2-0, and then Rodri got sent off straight away to start the second half. And then, you know, Steve Cooper made the right subs. He brought on all the attacking players because they were, you know, defending pretty well. But Man City held on. Now, I've kind of been touching on it the last few weeks a little bit, but Man City's defense this year is not as intense as it has been in recent times. Teams can get at them. Like Nottingham Forest did create a few chances, probably should have scored 1 or 2, but if a good team gets those chances, you can see them putting them away. Like City have Wolves away this weekend, then they're away to Arsenal, then they have Brighton, Man United, you know, the next couple of games. So it could be a tricky time for Man City. Obviously saying that as well, like Man City they're just you know, they have 6 wins from 6. They always find a way to win. But if teams can just get at them, get those goals, then, you know, they might be in a little bit of trouble.
Yeah, I mean, you're right in what you say. They're not as cohesive as a unit at the back. And saying that too, there's still some brilliant moments of brilliance. Kyle Walker's playing out of his skin. He's been playing very well this season. The goal he set up for Kyle Walker, or not Kyle Walker, the goal Kyle Walker, yeah, Phil Foden, was an amazing cutback. At the same time too, you kind of were like, geez, you had so much space there to take it down and shoot, but to kind of have the confidence and the trust to hit that back for Foden was a beautiful goal. Look, they're not as you did say it last week, and you're right in what you said because I watched a bit of this game. They're not as dynamic. Okay, now Kevin De Bruyne is a huge miss in that midfield. Rodri now getting the red card, he's going to be missing. So that's 2 key players in that midfield. Haaland took his goal brilliantly from the cross from Nunes, but he missed a fair few opportunities to get a few goals the other night. We've touched on that for the last few weeks, particularly you, Dan, because we know how much you want to shift him. I know he's missing his opportunities. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
He's not like he is taking his goals but he's not taking them as like he did last week. He's not so prolific, in my opinion. But my opinion is worth whatever you want to see it. I don't know what to make of them if they keep this style of form up. If they don't start hitting. Basically, if they don't blitz Wolves now this weekend, and they don't blitz whoever they're playing after, or they're playing Arsenal after that,
They're away to Arsenal, yeah.
Arsenal, then Brighton,
they need to absolutely blitz Wolves because I think they could be in danger against an Arsenal team if they're ticking, and most certainly a Brighton team if they're ticking. So, look, and you see in Pep Guardiola as well. I remember the end of last year, he was quite calm on the sideline, and we know he's not the calmest person in the world. But this season, he's very animated. He's like the faces he's pulling at his players. He's having to go at the officials. He's having to go at his players. He was 2-0 up before they started the decline in the game. They were 2-0 up, and I don't know what happened, but he went fucking apeshit at the sideline there, throwing the bottle into the dugout.
He's a prick though, and
he is.
Like it's all a showboat look for him. Like,
he does, but this time,
it's frustrating to watch him. Like
it is.
It was Alan Shearer that said it. He said
attention.
quickly when the first game City were away to Burnley, and he came up to Haaland at half time and started bollocking him. You know, Shearer was like, you know, say whatever you want, fucking shout at me in the dressing room in front of the lads, but do not ever do that like during on the pitch and stuff. And yeah, just like there's just
But
seems
this,
like Arteta gets a lot of
but
shit for doing,
he does
a bit
that.
animated. But
He
Pep
does.
just no one cares.
But he does that, and we all know what he's like. But these last few games, when he's the way he's at the sideline, it seems a bit different. It seems like he's thinking they're not doing what they want, or they're faltering something. Like, and as you said, like first, if they, if they were, let's just say for the sake of it, if they were an Arsenal, uh, they could have put away some of those chances. I think, yeah, like when Alvarez was banging in the goals and the assists before the last game, no one was really mentioning Kevin De Bruyne. But watching that game, especially in the second half, you realize why Kevin De Bruyne and Bernardo Silva is so vital to that team, and why Mahrez was vital to that team, and maybe in a sense why Grealish was vital to the team on the left hand side.
Gundogan as well.
And
Gundogan was probably their main
just
player
about to
for
say,
treble win
I'm
last
just going to
season.
say
He
that
was
was
their
my
clutch
last
player
person.
last
Yeah,
year. Like.
he was. Yes, I was actually going to say him last because, and more importantly, Gundogan, because in terms of that leadership in midfield. So look, the main thing is, lads, they're still fucking winning. They're still finding a way to get a win.
That's it. Yeah. Until one of us, until someone actually beats them, they could well go invincible, like, which is stupid.
Yeah.
But they were bang average. Yeah, that Haaland scored all his goals, but they still weren't a brilliant team last year. They still fucking popped the treble out of nowhere.
All right, Rob. Man City's midfield now, with obviously their injuries, and now Rodri's suspended. Their midfield's going to be Kovacic. We assume it's going to be Kovacic, Matheus Nunes, Kalvin Phillips. Probably neither of them.
Phillips.
I think Matheus Nunes was a strange buy for them. I don't rate him at all. Kovacic's been playing pretty shit. Kalvin Phillips has never got going at Man City. So teams I think Wolves would be a nice game for them now, because Wolves are absolute in the mud. But like I said about the games coming up, away at the Emirates next week, home to Brighton, and then away to Manchester United. It could be a tricky time for Man City.
It could be, but the good news is the Kalvin Phillips documentary will get a second season, because he'll now be starting Premier League games. So finally, some good news. Yeah, like they'll probably play Guardiola in midfield. Kyle Walker, they could easily push up to midfield. Guardiola, yeah, they were talking in pre-season about how he could play everywhere. I haven't seen the cult at all.
He hasn't really.
He hasn't done it.
I think that's is it maybe
anyone else spend 100 million on a player like we do, and they get fucking braided, and they say you go and buy 100 million player, and there's nothing said about him, how fucking bad he is, or how non-existent he's been playing.
He has been toasted a few times, and he's picked up a few yellow cards. I think. Yeah, it is true what you're saying. Yeah, if Arsenal United were buying 100 million players, then people would be up in arms.
Even a 67 million player, even like say Mountain Havertz, the shit they've been getting this season. There's nothing said about Guardiola. He's 100 million. He's nearly worth 200 players. I know two boys would have been 120 million. It's not far off. At least they're fucking playing. You can actually see them on the team sheet. Wolves would be. It could be a tricky one for City. It'd be just like Wolves to go and almost get a goal or get a win out of it. But it'd be just like City to go and score in the last 10 minutes, and then score twice or three times. Haaland is a weird one. I triple captained him this week for fantasy as a panic move on Saturday morning, and it nearly worked out. He missed a volley from about 4 or 5 yards out.
He went over the bar as well from a few yards.
Yeah. So I don't know what his fucking problem is, but I'm happy that's done anyways. City are a weird one. Who could they play midfield now? Bernardo Silva probably play kind of left centre mid.
He's injured. He's injured until.
He's injured.
I think he's out for another 2 weeks.
I think Kovacic is injured as well.
Right.
2 weeks.
Is he not injured? Is Kovacic not injured as well?
No, he played last night, didn't he?
No. Oh, did he play last night? Oh.
I think he played last night. Yeah.
Who else have they got then? So thinking,
well,
Kyle Walker could move up really, because I know they're playing in midfield when they do move up in a way at times. John Stones can play midfield like he played Cam last year.
Is he out as well? I haven't seen him all season. Is he out as well?
Who?
John Stones.
John Stones injured. Yeah, he's injured. Yeah.
So in fairness, City do have a lot of injuries. A lot of teams have a lot of injuries, but
City's maybe starting to show now more than others. But
so up next, we're going to go to Stamford Bridge. Another defeat for Chelsea. Another goal drought extended for them. It's the same story week in, week out with them. in fairness, they did get a win last night in the EFL Cup against Brighton. Was a result that I didn't really see coming now, but Jackson suspended, Gusto suspended. Gusto probably arguably their best player this season, I would say. Hodge was saying that his team can take some confidence from that game last night, but at the same time, there's still the same glaring errors in the team. They're still not hitting the target as much as they should. They just don't have that confidence, and it's going to be hard to build that up now. Like, they're away at Burnley next this coming weekend, and that's a tough game. Like, I know we said Burnley haven't been in the best of form, but that's a tough game. Turf Moor.
That's a relegation 6-pointer right there.
Yeah,
exactly. Yeah,
most certainly. I think it's a strange one. Like, there's so many different aspects of that game. Like, Raheem Sterling had a shocker. He had a few moments where all he had to do was square the ball or try square the ball over to Jackson. He went for goal and blew it. Mudryk did okay. He ran at the defence. At one moment early enough in the first half, he laid a lovely through ball to Jackson. And I can't determine if it was a missed opportunity by Jackson or a brilliant save by Martinez, but he did well. Gusto. Look, rules of the game. It's a red card. Sorry about that, but it's a red card. I think I still can't understand this crack of, like, Chilwell still not playing. Like, this is the third game in a row now he's had him on the bench.
No, he did miss a brilliant chance at the end though as well.
Well, he did, of course.
He should be best.
He's a defender. You kind of expect you don't expect him to be burying shot. I know he was actually pretty the last 2 seasons.
But Chilwell came on at left wing for Mudryk.
Yeah, that's where he's been playing more this season. Like, there's been more left wing.
Yeah, exactly. So, like, it's a funny one, and it's like Moises Caicedo say though, like, only Brighton can turn a 4 million player into a 100 million player, and Chelsea turn a 100 million player back into a 4 million player. He's made a few mistakes this season. He wasn't great the other night. I think Robert Sanchez, it's a weird one. Like, he should have done better for the Ollie Watkins goal, but he made some savage saves throughout the game. So look, I don't know. Like, in Chelsea,
sure,
they need to figure it out. Yeah. They need to figure it out, because at the moment they're just not doing it.
Rob, Chelsea's next 5 games: Burnley away, Fulham away, Arsenal at home, Brentford at home, Spurs away. How many points do you think they get out of those 5? Out of 15, how many points?
I've been rating them so far, so it'd be weird if I said 9 or 10. So I'll go with a firm 2.
Well, we know they're not getting 9 or 10.
For 1 to 4. That's being polite with it as well. Although Jackson missing could be a godsend for them, because that boy cannot score. He cannot score at all.
Who's going to come in and lead the line?
I think Broya is back, isn't it? I think Broya is back now.
Broya's back.
Broya hasn't really been seen, and I don't
know.
No,
but bring Sterling into the middle, and let one of their fucking 20 youth players that they bought over the summer play right wing or something.
Raheem Sterling had a good game against Luton Town, but since then he's just disappeared.
Yeah, but still, just put him back up there. They've got no one else. Like, or put fucking Thiago Silva up there and bomb crosses in. Like, they're so bad, they can only get good. That's the only way. Well, wouldn't say the only way is up, because it could still get worse. But Jackson has been missing chances. They are creating chances, isn't the thing. So they just need to get into some sort of goal scoring form. Of them games, it's hard to see them picking up many points, to be honest. If they can get a fluky win against Burnley, like, we put across, that's a confidence booster, Fulham away, not the same Fulham team without Mitrovic, but they're still good in midfield, very strong, not necessarily solid, but they're decent. But Chelsea are leaking in goals then, is their side.
So next up, the Amex, Brighton 3, Bournemouth 1. Brighton, few mistakes at the back. They've been free scoring Premier League this year. They have, 18 goals from 6 games, so averaging 3 goals. But their defence has just been pretty leaky. Obviously, Mitoma coming on changed the game for them, but there's early signs that they're not as incredible as they were last season. Oisin, start with you.
Yeah, I think the goal, it was a bit of
a mistake. It was a mistake at the back.
By Verbruggen. Well, it was the keeper, Verbruggen. He did take too long on the ball. Like, their Brighton style of player this season has been to keep the ball as long as possible, to approach the attacker or the pressing attacker to get it off. The keeper just obviously was trying that, but it just fucked it up. Great finish by Solanke though. Nice little kind of left-footed dink. So it was a good goal, but Yeah, they are licking in the goals, but like they're still scoring. Matoma coming off the bench, scoring 17 seconds after coming on was a great goal too. And then his second goal with the cross from Estepinian, it was a beautiful lofted cross or lightly weighted cross, and Matoma came in and beautiful little header. So look, Brighton, yeah, they're probably not at the heights of last season. They've lost a few already this season, but they're still scoring goals. No matter who they're putting out. I I feel bad for Evan Ferguson because after his hat trick against Newcastle, he hasn't been seen. Now he was injured for one game after the internationals. I think he missed the game, but he hasn't been seen much. But I don't think he's getting the service that he was getting as well in that game. So look, Brighton are doing well. We have to see them again in Europe because they lost the first game. So they have some tough fixtures coming up as well. Make no bones about it. So we'll see now if their squad depth or their rotation works as well as it has been, or maybe if De Zerbi is starting to tweak it or be a bit too smart in his tweaks, because there's only so many times you can play a formation with 3 or 4 changes a game before that really starts to backdrop on you. Preseason's over now; they should be all fit enough. He should know his starting 11 for these key games. So we'll see.
All right, next up, I think one of the biggest shocks of the weekend, Brentford at home to Everton. Everton ran out 3-1 winners. Was this Everton's best performance under Sean Dyche as a whole?
Second best after his first game beating Arsenal.
Fuck's sake. I walked into it.
No, look, is certainly this season, definitely on the back of the end of last season. They are getting a few players back. Harrison signed from Leeds, he's back now. Dominic Calvert-Lewin is doing well. Decore is playing. It's such a strange one with Decore. He was a central midfielder, then he started playing as a CDM under Dyche. Now this season he's a cam. And he's popping up with a few goals and assists. He could have got 2 or 3 that game. So they're getting a few goals. Dwight McNeil, dirt. James Garner's been really good. James Tarkowski has been quite good the last few games. I don't think he's no world beater, but he's been quite good. Jared Brentwaite, I think that's how you pronounce his name. He's a good player. I like him. He's a good young player. He was on loan last year in Holland, did quite well. He's doing okay. But let's make no bones about it. This is a piss poor result for Brentford. This is not a result like to be leading after 8 minutes, 10 minutes, whatever it was, at home to then go on and lose the game 3-1 to a shite Everton team, regardless of any sort of bullshit resurgence that people are talking about. It's a shite result. It's a bad result. And this will either do one or two things. It will completely fuck them up now for the next few weeks, or it'll elevate them to bring them back to where they were to points of last season. Because that was a stinker. To lose 3-1 away to Everton is not good.
At home to Everton.
At home to Everton. It's not good.
Last season, Brentford at home was always a tough fixture for everyone.
Yeah.
I know Arsenal went there last year and won 3-0, but since we're bringing up old results, but yeah, like we seen it then last night in the EFL Cup, they lost again to Arsenal at home, 1-0. And Brentford played a pretty strong side, like pretty much their strongest side they played. Thomas Frank said before the game that he wanted to put out a good side and see if they could go on a little bit of a cup run. That's obviously halted straight away.
Completely backfired now.
Yeah, we were praising a couple of weeks ago on Buemon and Wissa. Since we said that, maybe it's our fault. We said it. They haven't scored. They haven't done anything really. So it might be our fault. But on Everton, Rob, now they have Luton at home, Bournemouth at home. This is their chance to really fucking get some points under the belt. Kick on. If they could get 6 points out of those 2 games, they're back up the table.
Even 4 points would be more than good enough for them. I'd even go as far as saying 2 points because that would keep them well above Chelsea. I know. 6 points is doable for them. 6 points is definitely doable, especially against Bournemouth. Like Luton, you're expecting to be like a level down, so Luton definitely in the relegation zone. But against Bournemouth, that's who you're realistically fighting for, maybe 17th place, 16th, 17th place. So a huge game for them. Calvert-Lewin, I'm banking on him in my fantasy football. I think he's going to have, I'm hoping he'd have a fucking good few games now. He's got a couple of goals in the last couple of games. So, just keep playing football. I don't like them, but they can do all right. But their bench is terrible, though. I'd look at their bench and You have every number after fucking 30 on the bench. Like, they're all kids or random people.
Yeah.
It's like, man, who are they? Like, they
Yeah,
have a championship squad bar 4 or 5 players as well.
I think.
And that fucking little prick who looks like a goat. What's his name? little blondie bastard.
No,
not Moped. Cheat. He's a young English lad. I completely forgot about him. What's his name again? I forgot his name. He has the longest hair. He's a little fucking blonde bun. Once I find out who he is, I fucking.
Is he still there this year?
Yeah, he's still there, and he's still shit. He's ass. He's so.
I don't know. I might cut this out because I don't know. We're getting off track here.
Yeah, you can cut it out.
We're gonna move on. Who was it? Tom Davies. Tom Davies. Tom
Davies.
He's at Sheffield. He's at Sheffield United.
Is he at Sheffield?
Yeah, no way was him, but he's at Sheffield.
Right. He's ass. No wonder they're doing well now.
All right, moving on next to Kenilworth Road, where Luton Town picked up their first points of the season. 2 main points to talk about from that game, Rob. We're going to go with the penalty decision. We touched on it earlier. Luton crossed the ball, hit the Wolves player's leg, bounced up, hit his hand. We were talking about the natural position and stuff. Before we get started, I just want to say Morris's penalty was shocking. Absolute dirt penalty, but it went in.
Technique is
it's awful. Like the first game against Brighton as well, he scored a shitty one. But
he doesn't move around like a footballer. He just walked in the back door. He's
really awkward running, and the penalty style is fucking gammy. Like
he's getting a few goals though.
Yeah, true.
And in fairness, he hit the crossbar with a unreal shot.
Savage shot. Yeah.
That penalty, Rob. We touched on it. Look, where do people draw the line? How is that a penalty in one game? It's not a penalty in another game. It's just this whole unnatural position rule is just retarded.
I think it goes down now to a coin toss in the VAR room, to be honest, because nobody knows. You don't know. Like when you see a replay happen, it's like, oh, no penalty. That's when you're saying to yourself, oh, it's actually going to be a penalty. And when it's a stonewall penalty, that's when you're thinking, oh, it's not going to be.
It's funny that you said it's a coin toss. It's funny that you said it's a coin toss because Gary Neville, for Arsenal's disallowed goal against Everton, Gary Neville said there's a lot of guesswork going on with VAR. It's clear, it's obvious that there's a lot of guesswork.
Like, I don't understand how. I just don't get it. How it can be rebounded like that and go up. Like, then again, there's factors to what we don't know. Like, is the ball going to go to another player? Not necessarily in this instance, but any instance. Is the ball going to a different player, or is the ball going to target? But then still, because of what we've seen already being given and not given, there's no common ground to it. Whether it's a shot on target or it's a ball that's being flung up like that, or if you're sliding in and it hits your hand after, there's nothing to it. It happened to us a few years ago against Middlesbrough. Now I know it's a bit different, but the Middlesbrough handballed it. The Middlesbrough fella handballed it, right? And he kept the ball in. And because he didn't score, it wasn't handball. But he assisted your man that scored. Now, had he been the one that scored, it was a handball. But that was the rule that's the rule they gave. Was like, oh, because he didn't score, it wasn't handball. It's like, how does that make sense? Like the whole handball rule, and it seems to be just in England this is happening.
Yeah. I think what they need to do is they need to go back to the deliberate and not deliberate handball system that they had a few years ago, where it was a case of did he mean to hit the ball or not? It's plain and simple. He didn't mean to hit the ball. He clearly didn't mean to kick the ball up into his own hand. That's not deliberate. It's
a lot more black and white that way.
Yeah, exactly. They have to go back to that system because they've completely made a fucking hand of it now.
I understand if it's for a header and the defender's hand is up at his head, then it's like, yeah, man, you don't jump like that. Like, come on.
Yeah, absolutely.
Your hand is going to be up there. Right. But if he's going to block the ball and the ball is his foot up, then it's annoying.
Yeah. And then the next topic from that game, Bellegarde's red card. Now, looking at that on replay, you see Tom Lockyer's legs kind of wrap around Bellegarde's leg, and he couldn't, because Wolves were on the attack, Luton were on the attack, and Lockyer was stopping the attack, and obviously Bellegarde couldn't get his leg out, so I don't think it was any sort of a kick out. I think he just forcefully tried to remove his leg, but in a push, not as in a kick out kind of way. Like, I think it was a harsh red card. I think Lockyer duped everyone, got away with it.
And he sold it like he was murdered.
But in saying that, karma happened because he got absolutely toasted for the Wolves goal.
Yeah,
Lockyer, but I think it's just a bad decision.
Yeah, I think so too. I think, look, I think it's the way he looked like he cocked his leg before he pushed it. That's probably the killing factor. Look, you can say ill discipline. He should have been more calm, but fucking hell, no, there's not one person, especially not in this between the three of us. If some cunt was grabbing onto your leg and you want to get up, like I'm going for his face. I'm not going for his ass. Like I'm to kick out. I'm going for blood. Like so. And you would be the same. I know the fucking pair of you two very well.
Oh
So
yeah.
none of us are going to be calm at that
Especially in a
situation.
game, like
Of that
the
importance.
team you're
So,
trying to get back and
Yeah.
defend, and this lad just holding your leg, like.
But on top
Yeah,
of
I
that too,
do
like he could
think
have seriously hurt. He could have seriously hurt Bellegarde if he was twisting his ankle. Like the Lochler is not a fucking small lad. He's a big boy.
Big
So
dude,
he could have been on his ankle. That could have been twisting. That's not nice. That's not pleasant. So look, he sold it like he was killed. Like I couldn't believe the way I saw the replay today. I want to be absolutely sure, but the way he sold it too was inevitable. Look, he shouldn't have. He probably shouldn't have done it. Okay. That's the simple
Yeah,
answer. He shouldn't have done it. But like common sense sometimes, and these things need to prevail. You know, like there's every side to the story. Only Bellegarde knows if you meant to kick him or push him.
Yeah.
And only Lochler knows if he fucking hurt him or not. It's just the cameras deceive you now these days. Players are better actors than the Oscar winners. It's one of these things. You kind of have to get used to it now.
Now.
I think it was fair game to kick him though. Dead right.
Yeah, I think so.
Get up, get off me, you fucking tramp.
Yeah, I think so too.
Fucking,
yeah, I would have. Like, there's not person. There's very little people that wouldn't have kicked out.
You probably put a bit too much force into it to get away with it, but he didn't put enough in to actually make his fucking mark on him.
No.
Like doing like devious stuff like that is so annoying. Like, or when the player is clearly dragging out another player and then putting their hands up at the end as to say to the ref, like, what did I do? Like, it's so obvious, man. Just if you're gonna foul someone, just do it. Like, you know, we've all played football before. If I'm fouling someone for horny football, I'm doing it on purpose. Like, I'm like, yeah, it's a free kick. I know what I was doing. Like, you know.
Yeah, 100%.
It's just so annoying. Like, it's just do it and get on with it. Like.
All right, next up, Selhurst Park. Boring enough, 0-0 draw. I should start with you, Crystal Palace. They're kind of lacking that creativity. We touched on last week, Wilfred Zaha leaving. Yeah,
but you think with Eze and Ayew there that they could muster up something. Edard is on good form too. There's not much to say about this game. There was a nothing game. It was boring. Like Palace didn't create anything of worthiness to talk about. Defensively, they were quite strong for sure. McGahey is a great player. Anderson was a great player too. But look, it was an evenly matched game by two teams that played shite. It's simple as that.
Two mid-table teams. Rob, Fulham they seem defensively okay most of the time, and they're just lacking that. Since Mitrovic is gone, they brought in Raul Jimenez, who has never set the world alight. Like, he's probably a 5-goal a season striker. Carlos Vinicius is, I would say, maybe even 5 as well. But if they had a proper 10, 15-goal striker, would, you know, obviously strikers change games, but is that what they're missing under Marco Silva?
Well, Jimenez was a different player before he got his head fucking smashed in. Don't forget, he was much better back then.
Yeah, that's true.
You would be too.
I don't know. Peter Cech was better up for it. Like, they had a few shots on target. I think Johnson got man of the match for making 6 average saves because they just kept hitting the ball straight to him. Like, he made decent saves, but nothing great. Pereira, then they had a chance for it to happen, and Pereira kicked it fucking out for a goal kick. It was a horrible cross. He's about 2 yards away from actually hitting his man, like, for a tapping across the box, which, again, for Pereira, probably the best creative player to do that. It's bollocks, like, but yeah, kind of nothing game. A good point for either team, good clean sheet for either team, and to both come out without, you know, any red cards or that. It's grand for them, like.
All right, next up, we're going to go to Anfield, where Liverpool ran out 3-1 winners. We've seen it. It's kind of become a staple for Liverpool this year that they go behind, but they fight back. Obviously, with the firepower they have Darwin Núñez, who's in a pretty good grain of form so far this season. He has 3 goals, I think it's 2 assists so far in 6 games, but he's also missed 6 big chances, hit the post 3 times. He is doing pretty well, but Liverpool's defense just it's not that great. Like, Ocean, you're about to talk about Antonio. Like, he had a big miss. He missed a sitter. Thomas Souček had a good chance. Now Alisson made a great save. But I just want to touch on, before we get you started, for the goal, Van Dijk we seen him probably 2 seasons ago. He'd be throwing himself at the ball, but he just stood on his heels. Just he didn't have the edge to get in front of the ball. And Bowen, good finish. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah, I think you're exactly right in what you said there. There was no. It's a funny one, Van Dijk, isn't it? Like, because it was the same last season. Ever since the injury, so like the injury must be playing a part. He's not the same defender. He's not great defensively. His defensive awareness is poor at best. He's still a great passer at the ball. He's still a commanding figure, but he doesn't have that fearlessness he once had. He's certainly not commanding, as he has been before. It's a strange one. Look, you just brought it up there. Alisson made a wonderful save on Souček. That was a beautiful ball in by Ward-Prowse for Souček to get down that low right in the corner. Like if Souček got that like half a foot to the left, it was a goal, and it would have been an amazing goal. Then Souček to Mikel Antonio, and I can't stress to anyone how shit that boy is. Like he's ass. It's not even funny. It was a clear, like I wouldn't mind he had time as well. It's not like it was a snapshot, a header. He had a lot of time to time his jump right and to line it. It wasn't a fast cross. It was a fairly looped cross where he had time to get the connection, and he fucking hit it wide, by the wideness, by the length of a goal. He hit it wide. He's just they need to, their next investment, if they're not going to play Kudus up front, their next investment needs to be a striker. It has to be.
But you see, they can't buy a striker. They always have a history of having a bad striker. It's their problem. Like, whoever comes in their DNA, striker, Antonio will still play.
We've seen last year they bought Scamacca, and then sold him this year. It made no sense. Like
for way less. Like, and
I think look, they got the penalty earlier on from Salah winning the penalty. It was a clear cut penalty. There's not 9, and what an amazing penalty! Put the ball through the net. He could have put the ball through the net. But I think if those two opportunities, Souček and Mikel Antonio, before that penalty, it's a completely different game. We're not talking about Liverpool win. We're talking about a West Ham win there. I know Liverpool have been coming back for the last few games now, especially when they're 1-0 down. But West Ham have been shown this year they're on a rich vein of form. I don't think that 3-1 loss is going to affect them too much. Like if anything, they're going to felt pretty hard done by in some aspects.
It's just unfortunate. Like they came up against City, gave them, they were under pressure for a lot of the game. It was just unfortunate. Played City and Liverpool back to back. But yeah, I mean they have a pretty decent run. The Sheffield, Newcastle, Villa, Everton, and Brentford. Like games, maybe 3 wins out of 5 there for them. 9 points. Obviously they have Europa League mixed in there, but they got off to a good start. They won the Europa League game. They won in the EFL Cup as well. So David Moyes, I thought he'd be struggling this year, but a couple of games in, he's doing all right.
Yeah, they're
their lack of transfers as well. Like considering they struggled to stay up last year and they haven't really put money into it too much. They're doing very well. The Bowen goal was very good.
Brilliant goal.
I'm happy he's back playing good football. The Nunez goal was savage. McAllister, I didn't see that coming.
It was brilliant.
It was just a very, very good goal. But Liverpool can't continue by conceding first and then coming back. There's only so much. There's only so many times you can do it. Only for West Ham to score again and again. They're just going to get outscored eventually, or just not be able to make a team down.
Yeah, teams are going to learn now very shortly, especially the big teams. They're going to know that that there's not as much pressure to score goals against Liverpool because the chances are going to come. It's how we can change that. The only difference
at the moment between Liverpool and Chelsea is that Liverpool are scoring. That's it.
Yeah, that's it.
Both conceding every game. Their defense is probably equal as shit. Alisson is a better keeper, but he's still conceding goals. There's not a whole lot of difference apart from the fact that they have goal scorers. That's it.
Yeah. All right, so moving on to game week 7, then we're going to start off Aston Villa at home to Brighton. Oisin, go with you first.
Oh, Brighton just.
Rob?
2-1 Villa.
2-1 Villa. I think it's probably a draw game now in this game. I think it's a
draw.
Tough fixture for both teams.
Yeah.
Then next up, it's Bournemouth at home to Arsenal.
Arsenal. I have a feeling Arsenal will do well in this one. I think they have too much firepower. I think 2-0, 3-0.
Rob?
As much as I want to say 2-0 Bournemouth, I'll go 4-0 Arsenal.
Right. I think our away form has been much better than our home form. Everton then are going to be at home to Luton Town. I think an easy win for Everton.
Yeah, on core form, I think this will be a game now that Dyche should start Beto and Calvert-Lewin or Dominic Calvert-Lewin together. See how they get on. There's a goal somewhere between those two lads, so I think an Everton win as well.
Yeah, I think 2-0. I think keeping a clean sheet will be majorly important for Everton. And Calvert-Lewin back in the goals as well for them to keep going to the streak.
Moving on then to Manchester United at home to Crystal Palace. We've seen last night in the EFL Cup, Manchester United won out 3-0 winners. Much to the same again for United, but I think the pressure is on them to perform.
I do, but like I think we're gonna have a full strength squad. I think Amrabat's gonna get some minutes. I think he's gonna start the game. You're gonna see Mount back. Varane is probably gonna start. Reguilon is coming back. They've got a decent squad now. I actually think this is going to be quite comfortable for United. I can see this being 2 or 3-0, maybe 1. Maybe they'll get a goal, but I definitely see a United win.
Rob,
hopefully no banana peels around, but I'm going to go 4-0. 4-0 United.
4-0 United.
I think that is going to be a dominant display.
I think so.
And then it's going to be St James's Park, Newcastle at home to Burnley. I think Newcastle probably take this pretty easily based on Burnley's little run of form that they're on.
Yeah, I think so too. I think don't be surprised to see off the back of a 8-0 win, you see something similar on the lines of 4 or 5-0.
5, yeah.
I think a solid 3. I think Burnley won't make the same mistake that Sheffield did and just put, defence over attack, try and keep it down, and maybe they can go with 3-0 Newcastle.
And then West Ham going to be at home to Sheffield United. I think this is the chance for West Ham to kind of put the last 2 Premier League results behind them and just go on, play their game. I think comfortable, probably 3-0 win for West Ham.
Yeah, I think this is exactly the game they needed off the back of the last two games they've had. So I think you're right. It could be 2. I think both teams will score, but 2 or 3 goals scored by West Ham. If they play Kudus up top, they need to play him up top. They need to drop that other drop shot.
Watch Antonio start and score 2 or 3 now after he
more than likely.
I think it's 3 or 4. Let's get more Prowse on the free kicks again. 3 or 4 now.
Yeah. And then Wolves at home to Manchester City. Can't see anything but a Man City win. I know we're saying they're not fantastic, but I think Wolves are just that poor. They're just haven't got going. So I think City win pretty comfortably.
Out of pure devil's advocate, I'm going to say a draw.
I was thinking 1-1 or 3-1 City.
Yeah. All right. And the big one at the weekend, Spurs at home to Liverpool. I think this is a good test for both teams. I think whoever wins will take so much confidence out of it. Because, Spurs haven't been playing well the last 2 games. Liverpool, that you were saying, they have been getting away with it a lot lately. So I think if Spurs go up 1 or 2-0 in this game, then Liverpool are kind of in the mud. I can see Spurs taking this game.
I think so too. My feeling is Spurs will do this. I think both defensively aren't great, but I think due to the fact that I can't stand Liverpool, and I'm liking what I see with Ange Postecoglou, I think Spurs will pip it. I don't think by much, but I think they pip them.
I can't pick a winner, but I don't want to say a draw either. But I do want to say it'll be over 5 or 6 goals in the game. I think it's going to be attack.
Yeah, I think that's.
I want to even say something like a 3-2 or 4-3 win for Spurs. But I don't see, the thing is with Spurs' attack, it's not as good as Liverpool's attack. But Kulusevski, Madison, and Son up front, that's a strong attack for how bad Liverpool's defence is. Yeah. So can Spurs contain their attack enough? Probably not if it's going to be a 6 or 7 goal thriller, but
0-0 confirmed. Wait and see.
0-0 confirmed. Here we go. Yeah.
Sunday then. There's only one game on Sunday. It's going to be Nottingham Forest at home to Brentford. Nottingham Forest probably have been playing decent. They haven't got the results, but I think they could probably sneak a draw out of this just based on Brentford's last couple of games.
Yeah, I think on Brentford's vein of form lately and Forest needing something. I think I can think Forest will. I can't see a Forest loss, but it's a draw or a win, I'd say.
Yeah, I'll go 1-1. I'm going to keep my score predictions going.
All right. And then Monday, the last game of the week, Fulham at home to Chelsea. I think Chelsea find us tough. I don't think they'll lose, though. I think it'll be a draw.
No, I think Fulham win this. I honestly think they do. Like, it's a local derby as well. And I think Paulinho will come up and score now, since Chelsea wouldn't sign him because he's too old. Well, watch Paulinho come out now and get the winner.
I think 2-0 Fulham myself. I think Tim Ream will get a nice header.
Fucking Ream.
After he's my fantasy draft.
All right, that's going to do it for this week's episode of the Horny Football Podcast. So, Rob, Oisin, thank you so much for your thoughts. Everyone can let us know in the comments your predictions for this coming week. And thank you for tuning in. Please do like and subscribe, and we'll see you all next week.